Hey guys, Sarah here.
Lori here. I don't know why does that always happen to me? Lori here. Hi.
Oh.
Sammy's trying to say she's here too. Sammy's my dog. She's kind of hanging out with us.
And Sandy's here too. Do you want to sit down? What's going on? You're pacing. It's pacing. Hey guys, welcome to Mindful Witchery.
Here we are. Happy spring.
So this is actually, I'm glad you're here, Sammy, because it's a very special episode.
Yes.
And we, Ostara just happened, so the spring equinox just happened. It was Saturday, March 20th, and it usually falls around the 21st of the month, but it luckily fell on a Saturday. And was it nice out that day? I don't remember.
It was. Mm-hmm.
I was probably doing homework, but yeah, I wanted to do. I've been drawn to do some type of ritual to celebrate Ostara. Because it's not something I ever do. I usually don't do
No,
rituals,
I don't either. I really don't. This is not one I usually celebrate. But we were just talking in the last episode about spring and how it's a time of renewal and re-energizing and getting that energy back flowing again and sweeping out the old energy, sweeping out the stagnant energy and moving in with the renewed energy.
I need all of that.
Me too.
Feeling it. Yeah, I've just been thinking about this all the time, Lori. I don't know why, but something keeps nagging me, like waking up thinking about this for some reason, and I'm like, okay, well, we got to do it, and we got to record it.
And here we are.
So
we even chose a tarot card for each other from the Good Tarot deck by Colette Baron Reed.
Beautiful cards. So what we're going to do today, we're just going to talk about Ostara, what it is, just different things you can do around the equinox, different rituals, and do this tiny little ritual and
really celebrating the elements, earth, air, fire, and water, bringing them together to gather their strength for us to move forward.
Yeah, and a lot of it too is I was reading a lot about how this time of year really helps you balance your shadow and it helps you balance your light. So especially after such a shadowy couple months in New England, like winter, now it's going to start getting lighter out. It kind of is like this in-between neutral zone where you relearn how to blend those things back together. And I'm sure it was written way more eloquently than how
that sounded pretty good to me.
That. But,
pretty good to me.
And that's kind of how I've been feeling. I don't know about you. Feeling very dissociated from myself and who I am as a person. And winter always does that to me. Who am I?
It does, because we're by ourselves so much in the winter. God. We're isolated, especially with quarantines and everything like that. It's made it cubed. Winter cubed.
Even though I'm kind of glad winter this year went by super fast for me, because I think I was already used to just being inside.
Yeah, sure.
And so it wasn't as traumatic.
Wasn't a huge transition.
Not at all. Not at all. And I wasn't really going anywhere. So yeah, Ostara marks the coming of spring. It's a time of balance. And often, whether you're a witch or not, a lot of people celebrate by planting gardens. It's all about new.
Absolutely.
The newness.
Renew, rebirth, renaissance, all those things.
And oh my God. And this time during spring is so beautiful to just get out of the house. We were talking about this last episode. Just get out of the house. Feel the grass beneath your feet.
Grounding is so important now. Yeah. Grass beneath your feet, water between your toes, fresh air in your nose and your nostrils and your lungs.
Burning brush.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
Fire. We can go outside, my favorite thing. So it's really coming back to the elements, really, because around this time of year, I feel like they're all pretty even. Certain seasons kind of their foundations are a little more earthy, a little, I feel fall, a little more air, but I feel like this time of year, specifically right now, it's all kind of equal right now.
And I think we move back to the earth, back to simplicity in the spring. I think things become less of a chore. We go back to wanting the simple things like gardening, like growing our own food, growing our own flowers. I think we feel closer to the earth than any other time is spring.
Yeah.
Because that's when we plant.
It's almost like the veil comes down again. I'm like, oh, yeah.
Even people who don't necessarily consider themselves to be nature lovers or going hikers, things like that. It seems like everybody, that's what they do. They get out of the house. They want to be in nature. So
it shifts in people's moods.
Yes.
Night and day. And if you haven't noticed it, just look around you, your coworkers and even your family. look like moods. Moods get usually pretty better around this time. It's like newness always helps people, kind of shakes you out of your, I was going to say humdrum life, but that's probably negative. But like your...
Just the regular routine.
The regular everyday routine.
Doldrum kind of thing.
Yes,
yeah.
That's what I was trying to say.
And, and even though it is a time when we do feel this renewal, this sense of renewal in the spring, like any other transition, it can be difficult for people, I think. I think it's from winter to spring is the least difficult because we're looking forward to spring.
Yeah.
But transitioning itself, change, can often be really difficult for people. So that's why, as always, grounding is so important.
Yeah.
Whether it is putting your feet in the grass, putting your toes in the water, going out and feeling the texture of a tree or a leaf. It really does help. I think grounding is so important in the changing of seasons. So keep that in mind too, as grounding is always good.
Yeah, I need that. I need to like tattooed on my forehead, I
Yeah,
think.
me too.
So yeah, I'm glad we're doing this today because I think this is like my intention to just be like, okay, Sarah, you've been through a lot. You work through most of it. It's time to just plant new seeds. Time to let go. Let's rebalance the world around you, the environment,
and we've got all these pretty things out here. These things at our altar that mean something to the both of us. So Sarah, why don't you start out talking to us about what you have in front of you and your part of the altar and what it means to you?
So today I brought a few different things, each representing a different element. So for air, I brought it's a coaster, but it has a raven.
And it's so pretty.
On it. And I actually got this down in Charleston, South Carolina, last time I went down with my mom. So I absolutely love this. It's super pretty. So air, birds fly, that's what I thought of. I also have some Palo Santo for air, which seems like more earthy to me, but the smoke of Palo Santo just reminds me of like air and like how it hits light. The air. Yes, that's what I thought of when I picked it up. So I also, for water, I have one of my many plastic animals.
You have to take a picture of this.
I will. Okay. This is my walrus, and he's beautiful and great, and he hangs out with me at my desk all day while I do schoolwork. And so I brought him to represent water. I also brought a little container of like seashells, and it has sand in it from a beach that my friend's daughter gave me, and there's something so magical about it, and like the jar of it's really beautiful too. So that's represents water. And for my earth, I actually brought one of the candles from my wedding, and it's in this little round birch thing, and I figure we can burn this when we start the ritual. And we had our wedding at a camp, so that just reminded that it doesn't get more earthy than that.
Absolutely not.
And I brought that for fire. I think that represents both. So it has a little candle, but it also has that. So I brought that for both earth and fire. And that's what I got. Please tell me about your crystals.
Well, I brought a bunch of crystals because, we talked about how crystals are my jam. And I really enjoy like the energy and I base the crystals that I use on the energy that I feel like I need at that moment. So I have my little tiny skull that is clear quartz that represents air and lightness of being.
Of course, we have to have a skull in here somewhere.
So I have like 3 skulls over here. Maybe I should have a bigger skull. And I have my selenite, which converts negative energy to positive energy. I have my rose quartz, which is to lead this ceremony, this ritual with love, all love and intent. And I have my amethyst, which is representative of love and patience and compassion and strength. And I have my black tourmaline, which is all about taking negative energy away.
They're gorgeous. They're pretty big pieces, too. I can totally...
They're big pieces.
I love them. They're gorgeous. It makes me want to get into crystals, but
I
don't got
crystals.
The money for that.
I love crystals so much. I always pick them up when I go and I find places to buy them because I always have a need that is met. And I always tell people, if you ever want to start really getting into crystals, collecting crystals, my suggestion is not to first look at a book.
Yeah.
Because a book will say, if you're feeling this way, then you should buy this. I would suggest going into a store, a crystal shop, a crystal store, and just seeing what resonates with you, because that really tells you what you need.
Oh, yeah.
You may go in thinking, I need a stone for patience, and you go in and you pick up an amethyst. That might actually not be the stone that you need. Listen to what stone speaks to you.
Yeah, what resonates with you.
Yes, what energy resonates with you and what stone.
It's like buying a car, Lori.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, it is like. So that's what I have. I have a lot of different crystals to represent my needs for this spring and for this new rebirth. And we also picked a tarot card for each other.
I will pull yours.
Okay.
So this is from what's it called? The Good
Tarot, Colette Baron Reed.
Ooh. I pulled for you the 10 of Fire.
Ooh.
And that's usually 10 is a completion. So I almost just opened right to it.
I actually really like these tarot cards because they go by the elements rather than the suits. So it's not wands and pentacles, things like that. It's earth, air, fire, and water.
Yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. So it says, burning away, releasing the excess, endings clear way for beginnings.
Well, that's very springy.
Yeah, I mean, like, doesn't get more springy than that. And she has this beautiful dress on. So that one's for you. We can put it in the middle here.
Okay. And then I have one for you. It is the 9 of Water. And this is beautiful. It's a mermaid.
Oh, my God.
And for me, this represents cleansing. Washing off the old, coming in with the new. So that's what this says for you, is that this time is a time of cleansing and just and a renewal and an acceptance of the process that's going to be coming.
Yes, that's a big one for me right now, is accepting what my reality is versus the reality I have in my head and what I want.
Right, exactly. And this represents a way to shake off to cleanse from the old and be ready for the new.
Yeah, agreed. And actually, I'm looking at yours now, and a huge part of the spring equinox is the tarot card that represent it is the wheel. And in yours, it looks like a wheel. She's almost like she's holding up all these papers that are on fire, and it's like in a wheel, and she's in the middle.
These are pretty appropriate for this
really
time of year. Dreams coming true because of the phantasmal figure that you got there. Dreams coming true, wishes being fulfilled.
I like all the gems she has.
And being content with change. Not struggling, not fighting against it, not moving headstrong forward into it, but being content and ready for it to flow over you like water.
Yeah. Everything against my personality and nature.
Yeah, exactly.
Just do the opposite.
Wow,
yeah.
This is like, you're going to have to fight for this one.
This is kind of funny, too, because I'm more fire than you.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think water is the opposite of fire in my brain. And for you, you're water.
Yeah.
So that's interesting that we got opposite.
It's weird. It's like it's a message for you to slow down and go with the flow, and for me to be more assertive in my,
I can read it now. It's like you're juggling it. Like you're juggling all these like different things, but you're handling it really well, which is kind of like very accurate. Cause
pretty much,
you've taken on some new roles and
crazy
responsibilities. It's almost like you're juggling all the roles, but it's going to be fine.
Yeah. And yours is flowing. Let the change flow over you like water. I like that.
Oh.
You're a mermaid.
Oh, God, that'd be so great. All right. So let's start.
What is it that I saw a meme one time that was like, I'm really pissed that I'm not a mermaid or something like that. Yeah.
I would totally wear that.
Yeah, me too.
As almost like a nightie. I would totally wear that. So it's a very short little thing, but I figured I'm going to light my candle here. Okay. Lori, do you want to burn some sage?
Sure.
We can do that. Or I have the cedar too.
Let me just go grab my...
But cedar's a little smoky. So I'm going to put the candle from my wedding actually right in the middle. And it should burn down pretty quickly. There we go. I'm now lighting the Palo Santo. Gives off the nicest, like, very earthy smell. It's a great addition to any type of ritual if you don't have sage or don't have cedar nearby. Oh God, it smells so good. I can't burn this in my house, so it's.
I love my little cauldron. I've got my little cauldron out.
Ooh. Beautiful. That's such a cute cauldron.
It's so little.
Oh, it smells like heaven.
Oh, that's nice.
So I figure we can just take a few moments if you want to hold any of the things that maybe something you want more of.
And if you're not fond of sage, I mean, I know there are people I love sage. If you're not fond of sage, cedar is a good alternative. What is it? Mugwort is another alternative.
The other one.
Yep.
Frankincense is another one.
If you really, if sage offends you, then absolutely use a different type of burning leaf.
Oh, most definitely. There's so many different things you could burn. I love cedar. That's my plant, and I connect with it. And it's very easily available. You usually just go in your neighbor's backyard and grab some cedar.
Absolutely.
All right, so I figure we could just take a few moments and just breathe. And if you're listening, and you can, if you're not driving or anything, just take a few moments for yourself. You can even pause this for a few minutes and just sit in your chair. You can lay down on the floor.
Anywhere where you're physically comfortable. That's super important.
And just begin to focus in on your breath. And I'm going to do the same. Really feeling the rise and fall of your stomach. Noticing if you have any tension. Any of your muscles, you're really holding tension in.
Just try not to set off the smoke alarm.
All right. And also too, right now, if you have a candle, that'd be a great thing to light while we're doing our ritual. You can join us.
And you can always burn any color candle. It's all about intention. If you don't have a green candle for good fortune, financial fortune, then use a white one. It's okay. Right? It's all about intent.
Yeah. So we make this offering to the earth, to the elements that surround us, earth, fire, water, air. We thank you for your offerings in our lives. Now we give back to you. We wish to live between the light, between the dark, and embrace this life in its many changes. Thank you for your guidance. I just felt this huge rush leave my body.
It's like a lightness. It's a great way to sweep away all that stagnant energy that builds up in the winter when we're closed in. Letting in fresh new energy, breathing in the new, breathing in the positive, and exhaling the negative. Breathing in the good and exhaling the bad.
Sweeping it away. You can even go outside and take off your shoes, put your toes in the grass.
Cold, snow, hard frozen ground giving way to flowers and loose earth and rebirth.
Closing your eyes and hearing all the nature and the birds.
Hearing the peepers and the birds.
And Whew. I just feel like a weight's been lifted.
Me too.
I feel really good. If you're ready, I'll probably close the circle.
Okay.
And I'm just going to blow out our candle. And blowing out the fire is a good way to signify that you're done with your ritual. And I always envision the smoke just being another gift back to the world, because just the smell of the smoke too just can really ground you.
Kind of represents any problems, any negative energy just kind of floating away.
Oh, I feel so much better. glad I listened to my nagging voice.
Me too. And I hope if you're listening to this that you got a chance to kind of follow along with us. And just remember, it's all about intent, and it's all about what you feel like you need. I mean, Sarah and I have all of our special things out here, our crystals, our plastic animals, our raven, our fire, our sage. But you do what is right for you if you're listening to this. You pick what's special to you and what you feel like you need. It is all about intention.
There's so many different ways to honor yourself and what your intention is in the spring, and it's going to be different for everybody.
Yes.
And that's the beautiful part of it. That's the beautiful part of being human.
And just allow yourself to enjoy this rebirth. Allow yourself to enjoy the renewal. Allow yourself to enjoy the fresh air and the fresh being and the fresh energy that is spring. Happy Ostara.
Yeah, happy Ostara, guys. Happy spring. All right. Thank you so much for joining us today.
See you later.
See you next time. Bye.